Hello everybody. We're going to make some bread today. It's going to be organic, vegan, gluten-free, xanthan-free, and psyllium. Yes! Alright, here are the ingredients. So we've got baking powder. It's aluminum-free. The ingredients are monocalcium phosphate, which is allowed. Allowed with restrictions, I believe. Sodium bicarbonate, which is allowed, and cornstarch, which is allowed with restrictions. All for food. We have organic brown rice flour. We have exempt natural sea salt. Organic extra virgin olive oil. We have exempt active yeast. We have organic sesame seeds. Let's see. We have organic grade B maple syrup. Organic poppy seeds. More organic olive oil. More baking soda, but we don't need baking soda, it's baking powder. Organic sorghum flour. Organic cornmeal. Let's see. And of course, organic teff. You gotta get those ancient grains. Also, we have organic brown flaxseed meal. And I believe that's all we need for this project, but I look around a second. Yes, that's everything.
Let's get started!
Really cool. Mike, you'll be hungry for chips later.
You adding maple syrup to water?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
The yeast like it.
Yeah, it's all sugary. Okay, what should I measure out next?
Hold on. These are a recent buy.
Ooh, those are like what I used to cut my hair. They're also meat shears.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the yeast looks so happy. Happy yeast.
I just cut some. Just killed some yeast with the scissors.
Don't worry, they'll take over the world anyway. We used organic water.
Straight from the tap.
Straight from the tap. Oh, it smells so yeasty. Can you hear it crackle?
Now we have to let it sit 5 to 10 minutes. I'm doing 7. Excuse me. Filming. There we go.
I meant after it started filming.
It'll be fine. Alright, so we'll start with the teff flour.
We have to add the dry ingredients.
Mixing the dry ingredients.
What cup?
1 cup
Cup.
measurer.
Cup.
We're going to double the recipe to make 2 loaves of bread. One for you guys to eat. Yeah.
So that's a half cup.
Oh.
You're gonna have to do that 4 times. We're not scientists or magicians here. We're just humble folk baking some bread.
Humble bakers.
Humble bakers.
Making a mess.
So I laughed earlier. They're gonna see if they see our flowchart. So I was in class and we were talking about colonization in Africa, and so I just started daydreaming because we talked about colonization in Africa all the time, and it's really just depressing.
2 cups of sorghum flour.
Did you put 2 cups in? That doesn't look like 2 cups.
Shoot, it's 1 cup.
I figured that looks like not a lot. You were just distracted by my melodious voice.
Distracted by this half-cup measurer that was placed in my hand.
Well, I couldn't find your cup measure.
It's right next to me.
Oh, well, it's all wet, so deal with it. I don't think
All right.
maybe okay.
That's 2 cups.
So we're talking about colonization in Africa, and I just thought of our flow chart and thought of organic loaf and started laughing. And she's like, "Do you have anything to like? Do you have input? Because usually I have something to say about everything."
You're like,
But
nope, just an organic loaf.
I was like, "Oh no, I'm not thinking about anything relevant." And then she's like, "Are you sure it's not even like tangentially relevant?" And I'm like, organic loaf funnel flow chart isn't really relevant to colonization in Africa. Unless you want to talk about how they, like, I don't know. I guess they make bread. But we're talking about pastoralism. So I think it would be more appropriate to talk about yogurt. They make yogurt in like stomach bladders. So cool. What next?
Now we're going to add 1 cup
Of brown rice flour?
brown rice flour.
We can't give them the whole recipe. That'll be our secret.
The rest is up for you to decide.
It's good you have really spindly arms so they can fit in that jar.
Didn't work anyways.
Not your arm's fault, it's the cup's fault. It's like, now you're just guesstimating. You know baking is a science, not an art. Well, it's both.
I'm doing a little bit under on the first one and a little bit over on the next one. Should equal out to an average that's perfectly good. Science.
Witty repartee is a part of our whole business plan.
Yeah, if every loaf was the same, no one would be interested in what it would taste like the next time. Just get something else.
Consistency? Psh, why would we want
For squares.
quality assurance? Which one is this? Cornmeal?
This is cornmeal.
Cornmeal!
You guys couldn't tell by the yellow
Cornmeal!
color.
It's only slightly yellow. It's actually pretty pastel. It's pretty finely ground.
It's cornmeal.
What should I do with the yeast after? Is it looking good?
Yeah. It's good enough.
Smells good.
There you go. Still has not very much time left.
Only 12 seconds. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Then,
5.
where are those pesky teaspoons?
Yeah!
This is a 1/4 teaspoon
And
measure.
more over here.
Where is that teaspoon measure that I was just using? Oh, it's
Yeah,
in
I was-
maple syrup.
That's why I was wondering if you needed maple syrup.
Just a quick rinse. It's all good.
With our organic, locally produced water.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Alright, now it's time for the salt exempt from the Omri.
And why is it exempt?
Generic materials. I don't know, Lauren, why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell the class, actually?
Stuck, Jonathan.
Whole grain bread.
So many grains.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hello. Psyllium husks, organic. Even succulents like gluten-free grains. Ah!
Yeah, pulling out of
And ground flax meal. Da-da-da! And your weapons are a teaspoon and a tablespoon. So we start with 2 teaspoons of maple syrup, right?
Yes.
Yay!
But we're only gonna give you a few of the ingredients.
1, 2. Oh yeah, what's the next thing? 'Olive oil. 4 tablespoons, right?
Hold on. Yeah. 4 tablespoons.
Beep. I'll do that. I forget how many teaspoons equate to tablespoons. 3, right?
No, it's 1 on top, or it's 2 on top of the 4.
But we already did
So
the other.
6
Okay. Tablespoons? I thought they were teaspoons.
teaspoons. Yeah, 4
Oh.
more tablespoons. Yeah, no joke.
Of maple syrup?
Yeah, 4 more tablespoons.
Okay, because you kept saying
I
teaspoon.
know I messed up. That's a teaspoon.
I know, I got it.
No, you're good.
Here we go. And we have the flax and they don't need to know that. Look at all of this magic! Woo! What is your favorite baked good?
Bread.
Oh! Bread?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Does bagel count as a bread? I feel like a bagel isn't a bread, it's its own thing.
A bagel is definitely a bread.
What is it? Doesn't like each bagel contain the equivalent of like 6 slices of bread or something?
I doubt it.
Nobody would worry about being chubby. They'd all be like, ooh, you're so doughy. This is so nice. Oh, you're a rascally bread. Yeah, I feel like it would have been easier mixing the wet into the dry. And now we wait. Stop being a turd. Well, we can deal with that after the buns come out of the oven.
It'll mess up the parchment paper.
Yeah.
Get some studio lighting in here. Like, we just remind you all that this bread is gluten-free. Shabow.